Lakey inspired. Fight.
Available at Vakana Fits. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. On behalf of Moon, meet my cat Moon. Anyway guys, today I am showing you how I made this. So there's gonna be a part 1 and a part 2. So for this first video, it's going to be a part 1, and you watch out for part 2, which will go up almost the same time. So yeah, I do hope you enjoy. For this project, I am using a 2.5mm hook. You also need scissors, your yarn. I already went ahead and did the first triangle of the one side of the bralette, so I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So I just went ahead and finished up so that I make the work easier. So to start off, and then you're going to make 15 chains. You're going to hold at that place and make 3 more chains. So 1, 2 and 3. Now you're going to go back into your 15th chain and single crochet into that. Now from here on, we're going to single crochet all the way to this point. If you don't know how to make single crochets, just go into your chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, go into your chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through the 2. So yeah, just keep doing the same thing, and I'll meet you when I get to this point. Oh, I also forgot, you'll also need a stitch marker, and for this case I'm just using this bobby pin. You can also use a safety pin, or if you have a stitch marker, just use that. So I'm going to insert it. You remember when we reached at the 15th line, we added 3 more extra chains, so we're going to put this in the middle of the 3 chains, which is the second chain. So this is 1 and this is 2. This is to mark the middle part so you don't forget. This is where we will start to increase to achieve this sharp shape. Another important point to note, you have to make sure you crochet into this last chain. This is to make your project or whatever you're making to be in a straight line. So when you get to this point, you're going to chain 1 and turn your project over. So we're going to go back. When you make chains, there are these two chains that are here. So what you're going to do, you're not going to crochet into all of the 2 chains, you're just going to crochet into the chain closest to you, which is this chain. So after turning your project over, you're going to chain only in the chains closest to you, which is this chain. So you're just going to go in and crochet all all the way to the end, making sure you only chain in one chain closest to you. So I'm going to do this and I'll meet you when I get to this point. For the next step, we are going to be increasing only at this middle part of every row. So what I mean by increasing, we are going to be doing 3 single crochets into this chain. So 1, you can just remove your stitch marker at this point. So 1, 2, and 3. So I've made 3 single crochets in that same chain, the chain which we had put our stitch marker. But before we continue, we have to make sure we mark the middle point before you continue, just to make sure that you're consistent. So for my project, as you can see, I did the first chain, the second chain, and the third chain. So I'm going to insert my stitch marker in this middle chain, and then I'm going to continue with my single crochets all the way through up to this point. So we're basically just doing the same thing row by row. The only difference is when we get to this point, we increase by doing 3 single crochets in that middle chain. So I'm just going to continue doing the same thing, chaining only in the chain closest to you. So like usual, when you get to the end, you chain 1 and turn your project over. Again, continue with the same series of single crochets all the way to this point, and when you get to this point, you're going to increase by doing 3 single crochets in that chain, and you're basically just going to repeat the same pattern over and over. So again, when you get to this point, remember we are doing 3 single crochets in that chain. And 3, then go ahead and replace your stitch marker. And again, remember you're only going in one chain of these 2, and the chain that you are crocheting in is the chain closest to you. Started forming that cup-like shape. Just keep doing the same thing all over until you actually achieve the size of your cups. So at this point I am almost done. It's just remaining 2 rows. If you want to be sure that the cups are the same size, You can just put them against each other and you'll see how many rows you are remaining with. So I'll just continue until the end. Excuse my cat. Them, it tells you how many rows you're remaining with for this pattern to be the same as this one. So I'll just go ahead and finish up and I'll meet you once I'm done. So here they are. So at this point I'm just going back in and making single crochets on the side just to line up the edges and make them be smooth. I had skipped some parts at the edges, that's why it's a bit dented. You can see these dents, but not to worry about that. I went ahead and took care of that by just chaining single crochets all the way across. So please just go ahead and do that and you'll be good to go. So now I'm done with lining the edges, as you can tell. So I'm just going to do the same thing on this other edge. So at this point I'm just going to cut and pull through to secure. From here on I'm just going to make a slip knot and I'm going to pass that through the chain at the corner. Then I'm just going to make single double crochets all the way across like I did the first one, just to smoothen out the edges and make them really neat. So at this point we're going to make another knot. Tell there is 1, 2 and 3, so we have to make sure that we go into this. I want to go through here, yarn over, pull through, and then I want to yarn over and pull through this loop that I had on this other side. So I'm just going to close that. So I'll just cut here, pull through, but just not to leave that like that. You never know, it might undo itself. So I'm just going in